Hey guys, Josh here. No reaction this week, being as that we get no chapter. I didn't realize that till Thursday. It was quite disappointing, but I have been thinking about Gear 5's weaknesses and Luffy's natural weaknesses he's already shown, and how all of those still tie in. Because I mean, we've seen him manipulate biological matter, non-carbon things that are just existing in the world, basically just hard, solid matter, right? But what is he not able to manipulate? What are his limits? Because basically it makes it seem like he's invincible. But as we always come to find out, that is never the case. Let's just go down a few of the elements, see if he's shown anything, which some of them obviously he has shown resistance to, and other things not so much. And here's why I don't think certain things. But so I was watching Zoe, I was just thinking about Luffy's electricity deal, and like, of course he was able to grab the lightning, but what about fire or water? Like, is that going to affect him? Like, lightning, it's not gonna hurt him. The lightning's not gonna hurt him, but he was able to suspend it in air, which is interesting, just suspending its properties on like a molecular level, which is quite interesting whenever we're talking about matter and different forms of matter and how things react with one another, like as far as density of particles and things like that. But like water, he's still a devil fruit user, but what if this oil fruit thing still was in play here? Like, what if he could still manipulate that in a way to where water, oil not mixing, like he can get around that, possibly being a hard counter to Emu, even though that's just like tinfoil hat, 100% conjecture. But somebody's got a freaking sea fruit controlling water. I doubt they can even touch it either, but I digress. If he touches it, does it weaken him? But you know that he has to be submerged a certain amount. So can he grab and make a freaking like water trident or something and become Aquaman? You feel me? Like, because he suspended the lightning and used it, I imagine. I couldn't remember if he used it as a sword or what, but like, what's up with that aspect? Like, can he just grab a little bit of water and not be weakened and still use that to his advantage, or stop a certain amount? Or maybe has to use something like rock or something to hard counter it, you know, even though, you know, in Pokemon he would totally get just blasted if he was rock with water. I'm pretty sure that's how that worked. But fire, so we know he's not immune to fire. He had to use his ace in the hole last time to get over Akainu, and he did get affected by Boro breath though, so he got completely toasted. He didn't grab it or anything like that, and his only counter to that beam of energy was grabbing the earth and stopping it, right? So that implies that Akainu could still be an issue to some degree, right? But how much? Because you can't manipulate that. He can't just grab a freaking hammer of molten rock, maybe, but I really don't think so. Maybe his hockey can protect him to a certain degree, but a solid being is not a Logia type. So that's something to think about. And if he rubberized the molten rock, maybe just only hurting a part of his hand or something, that might just be like one scene or something. I don't know, like stopping it just around him, like trapped under a meteor or something. I'm not sure, but that's another interesting thing. But we know air, he can grab it, or at least that's what I saw whenever Kaido was doing that whip. Whenever he did the whipping deal, it was pretty apparent that was like dense air that Luffy grabbed onto, which comes back to the molecular side of things, because he's not going to grab a sword attack from Django, right? Like, and freaking swing around like a tetherball. Like, he's not going to do that. But Kaido's able to produce enough force, like what is it, Zoro's like 3,000 worlds or something like that. I can't remember the exact attack, but it's his ranged attack that he uses. And I'm sure Luffy would be able to do that in the same facet, swing around and touch it and manipulate it in some facet that's still air, right? So that's why I think that there's like this whole molecular side to it, which is kind of interesting, and why the water one is going to be interesting to find out. Because what if he can heat his body up through the means in which he achieved Gear Second, right? Like in that steroidal type deal, but then he heated up enough to where he was oil, right? And he could like just sit on top of water or something. That was going to be my only saving grace on the resin fruit, because I was not on board with that whatsoever. I was a rough week, me getting on that. But that's really all my thoughts. I mean, is Akainu the final boss? Is Luffy straight up mid-diffing Emu, the sea goddess or sea god or whatever the hell she is? That's for if she's even a water lady or guy. And but Akainu, I think, is still going to be somewhat of an issue for sure. It's hard to be immune to molten rock. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Like, subscribe, and be kind. Thanks, guys.